What's up, everybody? Welcome back to WWTA News. I've got a very interesting story, and I'm just going to share this one story because it's very interesting, and I think we want to keep our eyes on it. So let's get into this article. So I'm over at CoinDesk.com, and I'm checking out these articles, and then this headline's up there in front of me. It says, IMF urges El Salvador to discontinue Bitcoin's legal tender status. What? The global financial institution said that Bitcoin's use as legal tender posed risks to El Salvador's financial stability, integrity, and consumer protection. The IMF is urging El Salvador, Mr. Bukele, Bukele, you gotta stop. This is madness, bruh. We can't let you do this, bruh. We can't let you continue to go on with Bitcoin being legal tender, bruh. It's not gonna happen, bruh. We see down there that all these people over there in El Salvador starting to get on board, and they all about that Bitcoin, but bruh, I'm saying, we the IMF, bruh. We can't just let you do that. The executive board of the International Monetary Fund recommended, we can't let you do this, that El Salvador discontinue the use of Bitcoin as legal tender in the country due to the financial risks and liabilities created. This recommendation came in a report issued on Tuesday following bilateral discussions with El Salvador about its economy. Look. We understand that you buying in the red. And we understand that you showing the world that you don't care about us. You can continue to buy because you bought that Bitcoin life. And we understand that even though we tried to make your people not like Bitcoin, they really starting to see the benefit of it. And we really don't like that. Is that how it goes? I'm wondering if that's how it goes. IMF directors stressed that there are large risks associated with the use of Bitcoin on financial stability, financial integrity, and consumer protection, as well as the associated fiscal contingent liabilities, according to the report. Now, wait a minute. I could have sworn Bukele said he was going to take a loan out on that Bitcoin. He was going to get some bonds drawn up or something, right? Because he's going to start investing in his country now that he's getting all this money off Bitcoin. And he's like, Bitcoin's value is going to go up. It's just going to keep going up. And I'm not worried about it. I'm going to take some loans on it, right? I could have sworn that's what was happening. So it says, directors also urged the authorities to narrow the scope of the Bitcoin law by removing Bitcoin's legal tender status. Look, all we want you to do, Mr. Bukele, is just not call Bitcoin or accept it as a legal tender. That's all we need you to do. We want you to narrow down these laws with the cryptocurrency. We just don't want you, to just you can say it can be accepted, but just not as a form of legal tender. You know what I'm saying? Because if you continue to leave it as legal tender, we can't really treat it like a commodity or an asset, because legal tender can't really be commodity or assets, right? So we Bukele, we're gonna really need you to fall back. And we being real nice and polite about it. We being real nice and polite. Because we the IMF, bro. We got plans. So some directors also expressed concern over the risk associated with issuing Bitcoin-backed bonds. See, there it is. There it is right there. Yeah. So what you essentially doing is getting money off that, getting money off that Bitcoin, right? That's all you really doing. A bond, a loan, a debt contract. You really trying to get debt contracts off these Bitcoin bonds, right? Using Bitcoin to back the debt bond. All right, so outside, not just really a debt bond. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that bond is a contract, and that contract is going to be used as far as gaining money. So it'd be a loan contract, which would essentially make it a debt contract, or technically a slave contract. unless unless you fulfill that contract, either by one, paying back what you borrowed, or two, just turning the Bitcoin over to resolve that debt. So anyways, that opens up a whole nother can of worms. You got to look at the big picture here. Bukele is really, at this point, in my personal belief, he's a bad man, but I think right now he might be playing with fire. I'm not sure about this. Nations do crazy things, but I'm all for Mr. Bukele, because he's the first and only president and nation to make Bitcoin legal tender. So I'm happy for him. I hope this sticks, but I will be watching my back if I was Mr. Bukele. It says El Salvador first adopted Bitcoin as legal tender in September 2021, and its president Nayib Bukele has become a vocal proponent to the cryptocurrency. And he has. Everybody had to give this brother a round of applause, because they was like, yo, my man doing big things, making sure his people getting money, bringing that Bitcoin to his country. Now listen, wait a minute, let's not stop there. What's happening in the United States? A lot of senators, mayors, and so on and so forth, they're getting Bitcoin as payment for paychecks. They're accepting Bitcoin as payment for debts and taxes, right? So the IMF is jumping on Bukele because they don't want Bitcoin to be labeled as legal tender. This isn't too hard to figure out. If it's legal tender, you really can't treat it like a commodity or an asset. And it goes to the point that I made before. When you talk about cryptocurrencies, you got to be careful how you describe it. Because if it's actually being used to purchase something, to purchase or to exchange for something, and it's accepted as value, as a monetary value, or just a value for that good, then it becomes a tender, a legal tender in a sense. It's operating as legal tender. So it's a currency. And so when it's doing that, you really can't start approaching people talking about you're going to have to pay a capital gains tax. How am I going to pay a capital gains tax on currency? You see what I'm saying? Then it becomes an issue, right? Money, dollars aren't the same as the property that you own, right? You sell a home, you could possibly be paying what? Gains tax, right? Any gains made on that sale. But when you're just swapping cryptocurrencies, if they're currencies, why would you pay gains on currency, right? So that's why, looking at this story, this is a major story, and we should all just step back and think about this. Bitcoin being a legal tender, it puts it in a position that other countries might not like, especially if they want to draw tender themselves from these transactions. So it's definitely something for us to pay attention to, and let's see how far the IMF goes with that.